Of shutting down streets. Have you been on Bissonnette lately? It's not great. There's a lot of crime here. A lot of mom and pop businesses are taking it on the chin because people don't want to shop where there's a lot of crime. And there's a lot of prostitution here. Quick lay of the land. You've got Bissonnette right there. 59's down there. Beltway's up there. And right behind me is Center Parkway. That's the street right here. And there is a whole lot of sex trade activity that originates right here.
Human trafficking is and always been a significant issue in the city of Houston, Texas. Due to our size, our diverse population, our proximity to the border, Houston is considered a hub for human trafficking, including both sex and labor trafficking. Now, traffickers usually exploit vulnerable individuals, targeting immigrants, runaways, individuals experiencing poverty or homelessness, and often just kidnapping. Now, there's various organizations and law enforcement agencies that are in the city that work to combat this human trafficking epidemic through awareness campaigns, intervention programs, and law enforcement efforts specialized in the like. Now, while this criminal element exists across the globe, Houston is ranked the second largest consumer of trafficking, both sex and labor, as of 2023. Logistically, though, it proves a difficult opponent to law enforcement due to our multiple major interstates, such as I-10, I-45, Highway 59, etc., our proximity to the border, and a highly integrated, quote, shadow network comprised of business owners, families, professionals, etc. Industry in the city of Houston also makes things difficult. Major events that often happen in the city, and people who are involved in this element that look nothing like a suspect.
Bust in Northwest Harris County lands a number of people behind bars and women believed to have been trafficked for sex rescued.
Fox 26's Dominique Keith is live tonight where the sting operation unfolded. She has a conversation with the Harris County Precinct 4 Constable. You'll see only on Fox. Dominique.
Yeah, and Tom and Caroline, prostitution became such a problem here along FM 1960. Residents began calling the Harris County Precinct 4 Constable's office, who then saturated the area, making more than a dozen arrests and even saving several sex trafficking victims.
Exactly right. When you talk about human trafficking, it really has no demographic profile that you can look at. When you talk about trafficking, we're talking about when someone's compelling or coercing someone to perform labor services, forced labor, domestic servitude, or any commercial sex act by force, fraud, or coercion. I think oftentimes that can get conflated with smuggling. When we talk about smuggling, smuggling in that aspect is a crime against the border, where someone consensually goes into a contract with a smuggler to move from one country to another. And in that you have to actually move a person. With trafficking, you don't actually have to move a person. Again, the trafficking aspect is the force, fraud, or coercion to compel someone to engage in labor, forced labor, or commercial sex trafficking.
Estimated 15,000 trafficking victims were identified in the city of Houston alone. This excludes the multiple thousands that have yet to be rescued or those that come in and out of the city on a daily basis. Often victims will be brought into the city, exploited for services, and then shipped off to a neighboring city, like in Austin, Dallas, Atlanta, anywhere where the I-10 corridor touches. Is usually where the next victim is shipped off to or brought in from. Now, over the last 4 to 5 years, this number has inevitably increased. For example, in 2017, over 280 plus businesses in Houston were visited by over 2,800 men and women, mostly between noon and 2 p.m. during the day. Offenses committed alone, when you extrapolate this, is over 1 million within a span of a year. And this was 2017. Now, while the fight to end trafficking rages on, some community members have identified the most common venues associated with sex and labor trafficking. These include massage parlors, cantina bar brothels, strip clubs, the streets, known as Bissonnette, maybe the Blade, a notorious side of town for sex trafficking, truck stops, hotels, motels, online services, familial tracking, and of course the inevitable porn and webcam sites. Now, while I've named a few common venues, frankly, trafficking mostly occurs in upper class, middle class neighborhoods, in areas where you would least suspect, from people that don't fit the typical profile of a trafficker.
And this can happen to anyone at any age. I know Houston is often referred to as a hotspot. Some people even go as far as saying it is the capital of human trafficking here in Texas. I know the climate contributes to that, the location of our city, to the port, and then, of course, being along that I-10 corridor, but also just the number of people we have here. For people who say human trafficking does not impact me, what would you say to them?
Oh. When you think about human trafficking, it's about 24 to 25 million people that are victims of human trafficking worldwide. And we say it doesn't impact you, it's a $150 billion industry. In Houston, because we're an international city, we have a lot of business, we have a lot of events that occur here in Houston. Again, the impact that it has on different industries, whether it's the hotel industry, the agriculture industry, the hospitality industry, it impacts everyone because we're paying a part. Because as we try to investigate these issues regarding human trafficking, we're trying to target the systems in order to get the best resources for the victims in their recovery.
Amongst these many issues, my aim is to bring awareness to this ordeal that's plagued our city, our country, and the entire world. Law enforcement continues to fight the good fight, but we can also play our part by staying aware in our respective communities and with our loved ones. As Josephine Butler once said, quote, "The fact that an evil exists and has always existed has never been held by society to be a good reason for not combating it," end quote. If you enjoy this educational content, be sure to like and subscribe for more. This is the Bayou City Report. Y'all stay safe. I'm out.
Make them victims.
Absolutely, Zach. With social media has made it easy for everyone in everyday life. You can order your groceries online. You can find a mate online. So with social media, it's increased the opportunities for traffickers to reach victims from the various platforms, whether it be gaming platforms, apps. Also with social media, they have the anonymity to be who they are, when they want to be, and how they want to be, which helps with the exploitation and the fraud or coercion part of it. Also, when you talk about social media, it has the ability to increase profitability because it can reach more people. When you talk about, there are about 8 billion people in the world, and of that, 5.5 billion people have access to the internet. So every day, and when someone goes online, a juvenile goes online, a victim goes online, they have the opportunity to be reached by 5.5 billion people, as well as when you're talking about the advertisement for any services, they can advertise and reach more people much more widely.
Yeah.